What's going on, guys? This video is a week late. I'm really freaking tired, but this is Master Grade Monday. Let's get this rolling. Alright, guys, on this Master Grade Monday, we are finally looking at the last Gundam from the Endless Waltz line. At least the last one I own. I don't have any more to build for now, and it's the only other one left. And it is, of course, the There's no reading that. It's, of course, the Gundam Epyon. And this is a fantastic shot here of basically leading up through the final battle where they're destroying the bases and the ships that are there to destroy everything, the colony and all that. So you get a great shot of Epyon right here with this huge heat whip coming across the front here and his giant beam sword. It's just glowing. That's awesome. You get a little shot of him in dragon mode down here, flight mode. You got everything exploding in the background. You even got a little bit of Wing Zero hanging out right there. That's actually pretty cool. And that is that's the Endless Waltz version. So everything is going to be Endless Waltz, except for the fact this guy, maybe I don't know. I didn't think he was in the Endless Waltz manga. What do I know? I haven't seen it. But anyways, we got Master Grade emblem up here, Endless Waltz logo there, Bandai logo there, in unreadable text right there. So come to the bottom, and we get obligatory front shot and rear shot, and that's just beautiful. It is a very, very good looking kit, guys. And of course you come there and you got Gundam Epyon, and you got different modes. The MA form front view, whatever that means. You got stuff where wings move and do things. You've got legs that do things and other stuff. Oh yeah, it actually has things there. Wing unit, yay. MA form, I don't know what that means. Mobile armor form, I guess. Heat rod, heat whip, whatever. Figure, you get a little Zex Marquise there. I don't even know that I have him in there, but who knows. Armaments, you got heat whip and sword. Yay for that. Markings, of course you have markings. It's a kit. Oh, and by the way, the OZ-13MS. So he doesn't follow the Gundam numbering system because he's not part of the original Gundams. So come over here and you've got Gundam Epyon, Mobile Suit OZ-13MS, Masquerade, repeat of Boxheart. Man, that's just good looking evil Gundam. He takes a lot of cues from the Master Gundam, if I do say so myself. Bandai. And we come over here, and you've got it in a great action pose right there. The whip flying back, wings all back and looking awesome. And I assume that's a story mode there about how it came about, and also there's more story mode about how it came. And there's more story about the frozen teardrop. Yay for that. Of course, we don't have anything from the other manga. You got little guy on the toilet, obligatory warnings, all the different plastics that are in here. Wow, that would not focus for some reason. And 4,800 yen, so 50 some odd dollars. And illustration and finish works by Art Presto and Yam 2. CG works is by Eto Koji. I haven't seen anything by Eto Koji in a little while. That's pretty cool. Last Gundam in the series. Still upside down. But it is what it is. Even the Zero system couldn't see that coming. Ah, jokes. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy out of display and check him out. Alright, guys. So here we have the coolest Gundam from Gundam Wing out here and looking really, really menacing. Now, I don't know if it's just me. For some reason, it just seems really, really dark. I don't know if my camera is just not adjusting right. Maybe. I don't know. It is. I mean, it's a dark Gundam. Yeah, it's this nice dark maroon and kind of navy color. So it is pretty awesome. Now, as it goes, this was probably the last Gundam I put together originally from the series as well. So it kind of fit, you know. And I will say that I remember when I built it, while most of it didn't have an issue, there was definitely a problem with these wings, and I'll talk about it when we get that far. But on this guy, didn't have any breakages, nothing like that. I think I learned my lesson about painting inner frames and stuff like that. Though I think, for the most part, he should share quite a bit with at least Wing or Wing Zero instead of the other Gundams, because, you know, it does transform in a similar manner. But it's still unique in and of its own way. You know, one, the color, because none of the other ones are remotely like this. He's got no real white on him, with the exception of his face and then, like, right there. Whereas the other Gundams are primarily white. He does have some big, ridiculous wings on the back. He's also insanely fast. At least as fast as Wing Zero is. So, it's pretty awesome. And it's just, like I said, it's just big and menacing. Everything's very angular. You know, you got the big sharp knee spikes and leg spikes here. Even the wings are a little bit pokey. You've got the obligatory heat rod shield right here. The same thing that Toggy's 3 had. Of course, that's where he got it. Because, you know, same pilot. It is what it is. Now, mind you, of course, Hero did pilot Epyon there for a little while, because he and Zex switched for for a little bit. Such a weird story. It really, really was. But I love the details on this thing. It's a good kit. You know, I did put on quite a few stickers. I think I did not do the dry transfers, though, because looking at the images, there's more that should go right here. So I think I only put on just the regular marking decals. I did not put on any of the dry transfers, but it still looks pretty good. And then looking around, I see I've tried to clean up a few nubs here and there, but he is really, really cool. Just do a quick walk around. It's a little harder to do with the Master Grade, but it is what it is. I like that you get the claws here on the arms, just like you got with the original Wing for when it transformed. See here, come to the back. Got a couple little extra winglets here. That's pretty neat. A couple little thrusters that you can move just a little bit. Of course, the main thrusters and the wings, they do what they do. I like this guy. I haven't really looked at him in a little while. He's just been on the display stand for quite some time. Even the back of his head is a little bit different. It's going to be hard to see. Oh, I guess it would help if I bring the camera up to Master Grade level. Here we go. So you can see the rear camera there, but he's got a couple little, like, holes right there. That's interesting. Nice. Just, you know, archaeology, guys. I always say that whenever I go over these old kits. It's like archaeology, both in how did I used to build things, and also, like, it's been years since I built it, so what's it all about? Okay, and of course it has a cockpit. I just don't remember where. It's either here or there. It's probably just this little yellow bit right here. Yes, it is. And I don't think... I can't see a pilot in there, so I guess I did not put a pilot in there. But it is what it is. I like this guy. So you get green stickers there for the top and for the eyes, and probably right back there behind the jewel. So it's probably just a clear jewel with a green sticker. That's pretty cool. I like the new yellow vents here on the chest. So obviously taking a lot of liberties, or not liberties, taking a lot of design cues directly from the Wing Zero and the Wing that he was basically copied from, built from. They wanted their own version of the Zero system, so they made it. But of course they called it the Epyon system, which the main difference is it shows you the faces of the people that you're killing instead of just showing you the future. That's awesome. Though, of course, whenever he was fighting Hiro, it brought up one of the best lines in the whole series, I think, when Hiro says to Zex, it's like, Zero is showing me that I survived this battle. What is Epyon telling you? I love that line. Or, you know, even if I paraphrased it slightly. All right, let's go over articulation right quick, because he's wanting to fall over. So actually, realistically, his wings kind of hold him up more than anything. I love the fact that the wings are very, very present, even in this form. Reminds me of a gargoyle or something like that, where he's always got his wings out. Of course, he's got his nice ears and everything like that. So the wings do hinge like here, as they should. They also hinge back there, just as they should. I'm going to go ahead and get that back out of the way so I can see if I can rotate the arm all the way around without breaking anything. Because I honestly don't know. Always is tough. There we go. So you can go all the way around. We just need to be careful. Like so. You do get bicep rotation. A little hard to do with the shield in the way here. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. You got bicep rotation. Very nice. You can lift the arm up. The shoulder armor does move a little bit. Hold on, let me rotate, then lift, so we can get and a little hi teacher, kind of hi. Come down. You do get a double jointed elbow, as you've done with all of the other ones. So you can actually reach up and touch his own shoulder pad. That's pretty good. The wrist is the same as any of them. So a little bit of ball joint. You have the thumb. And he does come with a multitude of hands. One, for holding weapons, and other ones for being expressive, straight up fist, all that. So just the same as all the other Gundams. He does get waist articulation. You have to pull him up just a little bit to go all the way around. He does get a little bit of an ab crunchy crunch, just like that. I'll go ahead and pull this off. I don't know why. I put his accessories on him and I meant to not. So I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Alright, so he's got a bunch of skirts. So let's see if we can do this without dropping all of them off. Just this thing keeps falling off and it's annoying me. Alright, so let's go for Jean-Claude. She does very good Jean-Claude, and that reveals I did some silver paintwork right in there on the inside of the thighs. Nice. So we come down here. We do get thigh rotation. It goes about 270. Oh, well, no, actually I guess it goes only about 180. I don't know my degrees. Why not? Okay. So forward. Skirt's probably going to limit it. And go forward about that far. Stretch that leg. You do get double knee joint, so he can almost kick himself in the butt. He can definitely kick himself in the butt skirt. Butt skirt is just ball jointed there, and he can come back about that far. So good kicking pose, as it were. And there goes the skirt. These things always pop off. It's so annoying. I mean, I just need to glue every side skirt on, just in general, it needs to be done. Alright, we'll come down to the foot. Looks like we got a decent complex ankle. So we've got toe point, that's also part of the transformation. You can rock forward and back. You can turn both up here and down here, so he gets a nice complex ankle joint. I like that. And of course, you got some more clear plastic pieces with some green visors. I remember those being a pain in the butt. It's like, those stood out because they were a pain. And then technically, you got a little bit of extra foot articulation there. That's just funny. What fell off? This stupid thing keeps falling off. So this just plugs in right here on the ankle. Like I said, this guy is nice and angular. Looks really cool. I don't remember, do these move? Yeah, these move a little bit. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So you get a little bit of that side hell in there. That's pretty neat. Now before I move on to accessories and stuff, I wanted to talk about the wings, because there is a little bit more articulation and effect with them, and that's also where there was an issue. So if you come up here, you can grab this upper part of the wing and just kind of kick it up like so, and then you come down here, you pull the bottom, and you get a little bit of automorph where that all pops up. Now upon assembly, none of this wanted to move. You can move these parts, but they're all sort of linked. So this part up here, and I would have to find pictures for it, but it actually had a mold problem. Like the mold itself clearly had broken and added extra plastic where it didn't need to be. So you could not even assemble this properly. So up here in the hinge joint where it's supposed to go, it was too thick in one area. It took actually shaving a ton of plastic off to even be able to install either one. Both of them are that way. And I talked to a friend of mine who also had this kit, and he said his ended up being that way. So it turns out that I guess it's an issue that Bandai probably didn't even catch for however many generations of this. That's actually a good pose. I'm gonna get a picture of that. Did y'all see that? Nope? Okay. Let's go ahead and talk weapons and accessories, because of course he has some. Now we've already seen the shield. It is nice. It's essentially the exact same thing, a little bit of remolding from, or I guess technically for when he gets it in Tall Geese, so it's a little bit different. Come down here, you do have this nice big hinge part. This is what plugs into the forearm, just like almost every Gundam. So he does carry a lot of things from the regular Endless Waltz Gundams. He also has this adapter that comes into play a little bit later on, along with that plug. Now, of course, we've already seen what the heat whip can do. So you've got the spiky here. You just unplug it very carefully, because that might snap off. And you have all of these little claw guys. So these things, of course, you just plug this into the tip like so. And this is kind of that robot magic. Like, how does all of this come out of this little bitty shield? You know, I don't think anybody technically knows. But this thing is awesome. I love the effect of it. Of course, you can collapse these guys a little bit, stiffen up the rod, so it's less of a chain, more like an actual rod or staff. And that's kind of how you're supposed to do it when we get into flight mode. But let's go ahead and plug this into his arm. So fold that out. You just got the tab. And it does just come right into the back of the arm, like so. The only thing it doesn't have is a like a handle. Like really realistically, it just chills right there on the forearm. Now let's see here if we can get a little bit of. There we go. Still a pretty epic pose. I want to get a picture of that. Nice. All right. So we move on to his really big weapon, because this guy does not have guns. He relies entirely on melee weapons. And you get his sword. Big old ridiculous, like, I don't even know technically what it's called. Blazing sword is what I want to call it. I don't even think the instructions tell you exactly the name of it. Somebody will. But this is actually the sword emitter, I guess. So this actually plugs in on the skirt with this little tab right there. Go ahead and unplug that. And just tabs in on the side skirt like so. So I can move that over so we can see what we're doing. Now he does come with a big fat wire. Gotta love that. And this is actually the power wire for said weapon. So it goes in here. And wherever that little piece went, it's over here. This little thing plugs in to the bottom of the sword. And then, oops, I'm getting hung up in the knee spikes. And you just plug that in there. So that's how the weapon actually operates. It's powered directly by the reactor, I think, of Epyon. Now the sword itself does have the handle, like the little tab handle there. So we can plug it into his hand, just like any other weapon from one of these Gundams. Now the fact that it does just spin freely is somewhat annoying, but you kind of get used to it. And you also have to work around that very stiff wire when plugging everything in, because it does want to fight you. Okay, I'll get the thumb up out of the way. Though I like the design of this sword. It does look like an old school, like, rocket. I like it. Come on, get in the hand. We have to do this first. Make life a little easier. It's having a hard time just getting around the thumb. Oh, come on, get in there. There we go. And now we'll plug in the wire. There we go. Okay, so of course, because it is a giant beam weapon, you get a giant beam effect. Look at this thing. This is ridiculous. So this just slides in just like that, and now you have big, ridiculous beam weapon. And he basically slices a colony in half with this. Now it does actually have the ability, if I remember correctly, to just keep expanding, keep getting bigger to cut whatever he needs to, if I recall correctly. That's just insane that weapon exists. He's like, I want more than a beam sword. This thing is what I want to cut everything to pieces. Now I don't know if Trey's actually intended to use this thing. I remember when he gave it to Hero, but he had Tall Geese, and I guess he just wanted his own version of Wing Zero, and that's what we ended up with here. An amazing, awesome, evil-looking Gundam. And, every series is better because of an evil Gundam. And here it is with its not-so-evil cousin, sister, whatever. So you've got Wing Zero. Of course, it's Proto Zero from Endless Waltz, but same difference. Now, it was really awesome to basically see these two taking down different things on either side. And actually, I believe that Epyon stayed behind for the final thing while Hiro escaped. So that's pretty awesome. Of course, Epyon gets destroyed. Zex somehow, stays alive. We're okay with that, right? Yep. And of course, like Wing Zero, it does transform. So let's go ahead and get it into transform mode. Now, first and foremost, we want to take the sword, remove the beam, go ahead and remove the sword itself. Come on, and the hand, because you're not going to need the hand. So just like Wing Zero, you just yank the hands off. Actually, just like normal Wing, you rip the hands out. Wing Zero didn't do that. Go ahead and pull the sword base off the bottom and pull the wires off. And then we just install that like so and set it aside. Come over here, rip off the shield whip. If it'll, why doesn't it want to unplug? Come on, get out of there. There we go. Then rip off that hand. If it'll rip off. There we go. So we want to that went flying. I'm going to go ahead and transform the hands while I'm here. So we get the dragon feet, as it were. Now, come around, straighten up the head, come around to the back. I'm going to flip these up and out of the way. We turn, I said to turn these side skirts. They ain't turning, they're just getting, there we go. That one worked. There it is. Okay. So we want to unplug this from the butt there. If it'll go. Yep. Okay. So that's it. Oh, you know what? I gotta pull the crotch peg off. That's gonna hinder things. There we go. Okay. So now we've got full movement. Now that unlocks all of the hips. Now we want to pull the side skirts back a little bit. And somehow we're supposed to get this whole thing up here. No idea. So rotate all of that up. If anybody can even see what's happening. Get that out of the way if I can. And then you want to rotate. Okay, I think that actually fell into place like it was supposed to. Now you rotate the legs up and over. You point the toes down. Pull the legs, tilt that, and open up. Hold on. Gotta do it that way. There we go. Disconnect that and move that down like so. Spike those up as good as you can. I think I need to rotate this downward. Then pull that all the way up. There we go. Now I thought that tabbed into something, but I can't find anything for it to tab into. Totally honest with you guys. Okay, now before we get too far, set the mess down. Alright. So you come to the heat whip. You want to fold that back, although I think this needs to stay forward like so. And you want to take this and plug the tail in like so. Actually, that handle's in the way again. So you plug that in like so with the sword like that. And we want the tail to just be doing its thing. And now this whole thing needs to plug into there. Now mind you, there it goes. Okay. Whew. Alright. I had a front skirt pop off. I don't care. And now I think we need to do... Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to cram this down just a little bit further. Get that little bit of reverse bend out of those dragon heads. How do the mouths don't want to stay open? Come on. Open your mouths. Good enough. Why is that not doing what it's supposed to do? There we go. Alright, and now we're supposed to come down to these thrusters, I guess. Yep. And they slide back. There it goes. Take some finagling. They're a little stuck. And that's the sound of breakage. Okay, I got it, but I had to fix something else. So, you have to get this little peg in the crotch first, like so. Then you take the tail mount and stick it in there. So that will actually give you a spot to mount one of these. Let's see here. How hard is this going to be to mount? Probably very, if I had to guess. There we go. Wow. So it's nowhere near where we can actually see anything. But let's play with it for a little here.
Some minutes later.
Alright guys, sorry. The stand was actually just being way too much of a hassle. So it's easier just to lay him out like this in his dragon mode. And while it looks really cool, it is such a pain. Like, I mean, if you're going to leave him in this mode, fine. Put him on a stand, leave him in this mode. I mean, it does look really neat, but there's a lot of hassle in getting it into this shape here. So let me get his wing opened up here. And you guys can see, well, you know, a lot of the details are still here. It's just a very, very different setup. And that stupid thing still wants to pop off. Nice. The wings are actually in the way. Now, I did have a little bit of an issue with these little thruster pods. Like, it's supposed to slide back the way I just got it to. And they just did not want to cooperate. And I'm not entirely certain about the shoulders, but the instructions didn't say anything about it, so I didn't do it. But here you have it in his weird two-headed dragon mode. Well, like I said, looks cool. I don't think that it's necessarily worth it. But, yeah, it's fun details. And the sword dealie kind of sticking out the back here, it's kind of actually interfering with the tail. I'd say it's not really worth it. But I think that's where I'm going to end this review, guys. Because it's gone on for quite some time. Master Grade review and all that. But Gundam Epyon, he's pretty awesome. I love the details. I love the fact he's basically an evil Gundam, even though technically he got used by a good guy for a little while. The transformation, neat, not worth it. Pretty cool. I like the weapons, stuff like that. But definitely not worth transforming. It's fun to leave him in the display with Wing Zero all the time. I really like that. But that's going to be it, guys. Oops. And I think next week, assuming that I'm back on schedule, we're not doing any more Gundam Wings. We're going to go ahead and mix it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get some UC, I think. Maybe some Build Fighters. We'll see. I'm going to figure it out. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Master Grade Monday. Stick around for the rest of the week. Got some fun. We've got some Transformers Titans Return coming up later on. And, of course, another fun IBO kit. But it's probably going to be the last IBO kit we do for just a little while. Want to switch it up, do something else. So, if you guys are new here, make sure you like and subscribe. And check out all the other Master Grade Mondays. Check out the Wing Gundam playlist up until this point. And remember, as always, keep on building, guys.